Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Your Seat at the Table. I'm here today with the incredible Martha Niño, and Martha is a wonderful Mexican-American I met recently when she gave her TED Talk, so plug for that TED Talk. Please watch it. It is so inspiring and uplifting. Martha, thank you so much for bringing your voice here today.
Yeah, that TED Talk was incredible. And I remember us connecting through our stories. And honestly, I didn't know you, but our stories connected us. And so I'm very happy to be here and tell a little bit about my story and connect with your audience.
That's great. Well, we don't want you to tell the whole story because not that you want them to watch the TEDx talk. But I want to share that you are a woman who is living in your purpose. I am so proud of you as another woman of color and the work that you're doing with the foundation, your own foundation that you created. But if we could back up a little bit, you just left the tech industry where we know only 2% of the people in tech are Latinas. And as a woman of color in tech, as a Mexican woman in tech, tell us a little bit about your journey. That's pretty bold, given when you started also. So a little bit about...
Yeah, so I started in tech kind of, I like to say accidentally, but now, 3 decades, forward, actually, I think there was a reason for me to have been in tech. I didn't know I was getting into the tech industry. As a matter of fact, at the time, I didn't even have a college degree. I needed a job and I went to an agency. There was no LinkedIn. And I said, just get me a job that pays me $15 an hour. I thought that I was going to go to a company that made sand, like the beach. Yeah. And it turns out when I arrived, because I couldn't Google the company because there was no Google, I get there and it was a sound company, like voz, right? Like sonido. And I'm like, oh my God, do I leave? Like, what do I do? But they're willing to pay me these $15 an hour. I was, I needed...
Which was a lot of money back then, right?
Absolutely. So I'm like, I need to figure this out. And so I sat down on the desk that they told me. I said, what do I do? How do I do it? And that was my entry into tech, believe it or not. So sometimes ignorance is bliss, because I think I would have been scared to death had they told me, oh, you're going to go into this computer company. And by the way, computers had no sound back then. That's what we were doing. I'm like, imagine silent computers. Well, we were adding that sound to it. And I entered that industry and I was there for about 4 years. And then from then, I'm like, okay, I need to keep growing. What do I do? The mobile industry, like mobile companies, were kind of starting to become a thing. And there was this company called Handspring, which actually was kind of a take on a personal palm.
I had one of those devices. I did.
Yes, the hands. They literally fit you, and they had a little pencil. Remember that?
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and you can write on it digitally. So that became a phone. The way that it worked is there was your little organizer, and to make it a phone, they would attach, a little attachment to it. Way before our time.
BlackBerry after that.
Yes. That's right. So that was kind of the beginning of another...
BlackBerry. My gosh, I said BlackBerry.
Hey, you know what? It's lunchtime. Oh, fine. It's all blueberry.
Now people want the strawberry too.
Yeah, so that was me entering into another tech product company, and by that time I had about 4 or 5 years of experience in marketing, and I'm like, well, if we can market sound that nobody has ever heard of, there's this thing called a mobile phone that's coming into the picture. Let's market that. And honestly, nobody knew about that either. Like the whole concept of mobile phones was so weird for people. What do you mean I can't go anywhere? Like not attached? Like, yes. And so what I learned from both of those companies is that tech is always changing, and we have to adapt to it. And I think me losing fear of what the company did and just embrace that I'm gonna learn it, was great. But I also learned a lot from the people that were there, which was they had college degrees, You know, they had college degrees, they had certificates. So I'm like, okay, how do I get myself one of those? So coming from where I come from, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, you know, I didn't have that educational guidance or expert in my house that told me that I needed to have these things. I needed to rely on other people around me to see what they were doing. And I'm like, how do I do that? So from mobile, I was there a couple of years, and then I jumped over to Adobe, the biggest creative company in the world with software.
Household name.
Yeah, Adobe, right? Photoshop, Acrobat, all of that. So I went to go work for them. And this was the time where tech came in boxes. I don't know if you guys remember, but we used to go to the store at one point.
Yes.
and look at boxes. So my job was designing the box, working with the product person, pitching, you know, these products to stores that maybe had never heard of this stuff, and how do I get them to buy more? And anyways, it was amazing. I did that for 2 decades. My with all of that experience wrapped up, the main point was, how do we take something that nobody knew existed out there and get it in the hands of everybody, which is a perfect jump to how do we get everybody who doesn't think tech jobs or these professions are for them and show them that it is. So in a way, my jump from tech to nonprofit, my nonprofit is I'm going to use the same skills.
That's right.
I'm going to use the same skills, but now I'm going to scale hope. So
let's pause a bit here. I just want to acknowledge how entrepreneurial you are. I mean, I just think, over having chatted with you for a bit, just over the thread of your career, the arc of your career, you have always been in these situations where you're just thrown into the mix. You find yourself there, and it's Martha, figure it out.
Figure it out.
Yes.
Figure it out. That's what we do when we don't know and we need money. Like
you need to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And what I really enjoy in our conversation, and I know our viewers will also enjoy, is the fact that now you are saying, how do I pay that forward, help the younger generation and others like you, adult learners, folks who are going to college, not immediately after high school, folks who've had to hustle and your whole formula. So tell us a little bit about your foundation, your formula, and the work that you're doing now.
My formula, you know, one of the beauties of being in marketing is you can come up with slogans, and you're a little bit more creative. And I think that me being in those tech companies has taught me that if something doesn't work, right, there's always going to be a version 2.0 or a 3.0. That's why tech is always like that. Well, my mind, I think, has been trained to think that, well, if that didn't work, let's throw something out there. Let's go try something else out there. But you mentioned formula. So I was talking about this on another podcast, and somebody asked me, you know, how is it that somebody that comes from a background like yours ends up okay? You know, you said I was an entrepreneur. I didn't even know I was like that. I just was hustling. I just needed to survive, right? So, and it really got me thinking, and you guys could hear this on the TED Talk, but I came up with 4 H's, like with the letter H. And really what it comes down to is I needed to believe I can do it. I needed to believe I can do it. And, you know, for anybody listening here, you can do it. You can do it. Because if people like me, and I'm going to tell you, I come from a grass shack with no running water, no electricity, you know, dirt floors. I was undocumented in this country. Like, I lived in poverty, all the things that
they were stacked against you.
That were stacked against me. Everything that was stacked against me actually ended up being training for getting me here right now. I didn't realize that, but I'm telling you, you guys are way ahead if you know that now. So hope, I needed to believe it. And people like you have told me, oh, did you know that you're good at that? Did you know that we need to hear those things, because sometimes culturally we don't say things. And I think it's very important to speak those words to somebody that might not even consider themselves that way, because maybe that's the seed they needed to go, wow, maybe I can write a book. Maybe I can do a TED Talk. Maybe I can sell phones to, a world that doesn't know what they are. So hope, I needed to believe that. So I got a lot of good words sent my way to make me believe that I could do that. Help.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my mom's sixth grade education, my dad second. I mean, schools were different in the United States than they were in Mexico. I mean, the educational system in Mexico, high school is 3 years. Here it's 4 years. Even basic things like, an F is not fantastico, right?
Es algo muy diferente.
Despite what I told my mother in junior high, right? But, those very basic things, we don't know them. We don't know them. So we need other people to tell us what they are. So help to me came in the form of counselors, of bosses, managers at the time, just seeing something bigger. And I'll just tell a little bit about one of those obstacles. So I was in high school. I actually got kicked out of high school. So the fact that I'm talking at an urban college of Boston, like, wow, that goes to show you we can go from this to that. Absolutely. I literally was kicked out of the principal's office, and he says, you're bad influence. I mean, my hair was up to here. I did look like that. But I really didn't think I was worthy of finishing high school. And I'm like, well, if he thinks I'm a bad influence, I must be. Those were the words that's why,
but
that's
come
why
to believe. Words of power.
Yeah. Yes. And you know what? The ratio of good words to bad words matters. We need to get more of these out there so that when we hear things like that, this still weighs. So anyways, got kicked out of school, and then I ended up my 12th grade, the last year, in a counselor's office, and I literally was like, whatever, bad attitude, a teenager. And he looked at everything that I had going on, and he says, you know what? You can graduate from high school, and you can actually go back and at the end of the year and graduate with your class. And I'm like, how? Like, I needed a hope plan.
Yeah.
I needed a plan. I needed just somebody to specifically tell me, you need to do this, and this, and you'll be all right. Because we don't know what we don't know, especially if you come from other countries. So help, so we've talked about hope. We need to believe, help. Mm-hmm. Go get help or ask for help. Do not be nervous. That's why, there's educators out there and people who know more than us to give us those words. You'd be surprised. It might be the message you needed to hear to go, wow, I did end up graduating that year with my class back at the high school. And it felt wonderful to prove them wrong, because I was not a bad influence. And then hustle. I think culturally, that is one thing, we do have hustle.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen on, those couches up there, nothing. So, we need to put in the work. And, unfortunately, I think that sometimes, folks who come from different countries or tougher backgrounds, I mean, we've had to hustle our whole lives. So it's actually pretty normal. And so we're at an advantage than most people. But I think people need to see us, and we need to be a little louder about our hustle. I think sometimes we're a little too humble about our accomplishments. And I guarantee you, if we are sitting next to a person that has been exposed to professionals that have been on interviews for decades and decades and decades and own their own company, they are saying every little thing they have hustled for in that interview. We are like, oh, well, maybe I can do it. No. You tell them why you are there, why they should hire you, why you can have lunch with them. You need to own that, because if they're comparing you, they're going to go, well, this person just told me all of that. This person told me all that. Remember, ratio matters. Ratio matters.
I love that.
Yeah, ratio matters. So wait, where are we at? Hope, help, hustle. And the last one's very simple. It's heart. I think we take for granted the simplicity of being ourselves.
Yeah.
And, you were at the TED Talk with me, and I think one thing that both you and I left on that stage was ourselves, right? I think that no matter what we've been through, who we are, how we dress, whatever, It's ourselves. People want to see us.
That's
Because acting is hard work, and sooner or later people will catch on.
Yes.
People will catch on. So doing it as ourselves, I would always say, like, if we're funny, be funny. If we're loud, be loud. If we're quiet, be quiet. But be you. Be you. So that's my methodology to success. I mean, wrapped up in, like, decades and decades of experience, 3 of the decades in tech. And now I'm kind of taking all of that and going, well, if I did it for that, I can do it for this. Now, that said, that industry needs more diverse talent. And we need to see people like you and me there.
That's right.
So that we
It
can...
matters.
Absolutely. If they don't know that I've been there, and by the way, that I don't have all of the bells and whistles in education because I couldn't afford them.
That's right.
I couldn't afford them, but I came to the table with other things.
That's
When
right.
when we had no money, guess what? You become a really good budget manager.
Absolutely.
So there are skills
That's right.
because of how we grew up that are so valuable to these employers. They're like, what? We can sell, what do they say? We can sell this to ice to Eskimos, whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, is that the thing? Yes, we can, because we're trying to survive. So there was no reason why I couldn't sell cell phones to those, retailers out there. I've been selling since I was little. We've been selling houses since we were a little kid. So all of these things to say is that, we have things that we've grown up with that maybe others do not, that are actually what it's going to make us different and valuable. We just need to own it. So hope, help, hustle, and heart.
Right. Those cultural assets,
Cultural assets.
Yes. It makes you entrepreneurial. So tell us, as we close, your foundation, how we can learn more about your foundation and a very special book that you've written.
Yes. So my foundation is called the Martha Niño Foundation. It actually started, the tech company that I was working at was having a contest, and they were looking for diversity stories. And the prize was to get on stage. And I always wanted to get on stage, but, my shyness, or I'm like, I didn't think my story was good enough. Like, you get all the things, right?
All the ideas we get in our heads. Yeah.
Yeah. So finally I said, well, you know what? What if they knew my story? What if they knew my story? I mean, the prize was staged. I mean, there was, it was only, it was only 30,000 people at the company. But I'm like, at least it's not a million.
It's like a whole city, a whole town.
I know. At least it's not, 8 billion people. I'm like, okay, the chances are a little better. But, anyway, so out of the 700 people from that company that did submit stories, I was the closing keynote that day.
Wow.
And Gloria Stefan was there.
Wow.
I was like, my hero was there. It was really surreal stuff. Now, I never had spoken anywhere. So I had to learn the skill of speaking through other people that have done it. I mean, I Googled every little thing. I read every, how do you stand on stage? How do you do this? And you know what? I started kind of embracing it and practicing it. And so from that day on, it changed my life, because I actually came clean with who I was at a corporation in front of 1,200 of the smartest people that I knew. And there was nothing to hide anymore. And I think when we have nothing to hide anymore, you kind of fly a little higher. So I've been speaking ever since. And so it kind of led me on a path where, I was doing speaking wherever I could. I started writing. The other thing was writing. When we did our TED Talks, we had to write our stories.
Yeah.
But we only have a tiny little amount of time to do our decades of life stories. So the whole process and skill of writing was something that I ended up loving, actually. So what stays, what goes, what flows, what am I comfortable saying, what am I not, blah, 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 blah. So, and then I practiced it with a lot of people. I practiced it. And that was annoying because, people don't like to hear feedback. I don't either. Like, oh, you sounded like this, you sound like that. But it's important for people to hear it. So by the time we do a TED Talk,
Yes.
or do get our message out there, or are in front pitching ourselves to a potential employer, we got this. We got this because we've gotten feedback from here, from there. We practiced, so all the good stuff. So I started writing on LinkedIn, my little snippets of stories. And then somebody asked me if I had a book. And that was another little book. I'm like, oh my God, they think I should have a book. How do I write a book? Well, I had all of these little posts from LinkedIn, and my posts were not about work. My posts were about getting into tech. My posts were about having $3 shoes, not the Reeboks. My shoes were about if somebody like me can be at a place like that, you can be there too. My posts were about maybe if some employer is reading my posts, maybe and I've been adding value to this industry for 3 decades. Maybe they'll open the doors just a little wider. So there was purpose in my posts. There was purpose for the people who are looking for jobs and thinking of different careers. And there was also purpose for the people looking for talent. Absolutely. So I did that for about 5 years. And one of the big things that really changed me was I was getting invited to a lot of schools where little kids were, little kids. And the little kids started opening up to me. And there's this one particular instance where this little boy, I had told him about living in a 1-bedroom home with 8 other people, and he came up to me after reluctantly and said, I live in a garage.
Wow.
I live in a garage.
So vulnerable for a kid.
Yes. But this is where I believe that our vulnerability, and me telling you all these things like this, they're a superpower. Being vulnerable is a superpower.
Absolutely.
Because I believe that once you hear me, like once I did that talk, all of a sudden I was like, I felt a little lighter, I felt freer. But what I didn't know is once I didn't know this was not about me.
Right.
This was about other people, like this child who came up to me and told me that he was living in a garage and he was happy that I was there. And he was shaking when he was like hugging me. And I'm like, oh my God, I need to keep doing this. So I can't. So
that took a lot of courage from
that boy, it took a lot of courage. So anyways, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get my book out there in a much bigger way. And then I'm like, well, how do I gift it to kids? Because I don't want kids to ever pay for hope. Hope should never cost anything. So
generous.
Being part of this whole tech industry where I've seen and I've created programs that have scaled, I'm like, I gotta figure this out. So I came up with a plan, and I'm like, okay, I guess I'm going to start a nonprofit. I got myself a business partner, a nonprofit partner. She's a teacher. So, I wanted to reach children. So I needed somebody that knew the educational world. I knew the business world. And so we created a 501c3. And we created a program called Book Fairies. So so our books are delivered to schools through Book Fairies. Just this week, I had 12 principals, which equate to 12,000 children, sign up for Hope Assemblies, storytelling Hope Assemblies.
I love it.
Where, we're going to be delivering hope, the message, which is a side effect of career exposure, because so my foundation really is around storytelling and hope to the educational sector, and talk about learning as we go. And you said entrepreneur. So as I was talking and pitching these things of my foundation to these districts, the need for, let me show you my book. So this is my book.
All right.
Yeah,
So get a little closer. We'd like the audience to see it as we close up. So this
the other side. The other side, From a Shack to Silicon Valley. It's on Amazon or
love it.
Anyways, this represents me as a little girl. I love the Japanese tradition of kintsugi, where a vase, like a ceramic vase, breaks. They don't throw it away. They actually mend it with gold. And they don't hide their brokenness. So I was like, I like that. So we shouldn't hide our brokenness. My parents used to pick cotton for a living. So this represents obstacles. And then the sun here represents hope, the horizon. And then that's my mother.
Oh, that's beautiful.
My
Beautiful.
mother and me. And my mother's now in all these books. And we've given away thousands, by the way. And, she used to be a school janitor. And she had a dream of being a teacher. And she never thought she'd actually be in classrooms teaching, but she's in classrooms teaching this way.
Oh.
So, my
Oh, Martha, thank you
so many things.
much. Oh, and a tiny little, oh, yes.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, I talk a lot. See, now you can't shut me up. So I'll be done soon. So as I was talking to these school districts, they're like, well, this is great for bigger kids, 4th and up. What do you got for little kids? I had nothing. I had nothing. So I'm like, I got to figure this out. So my older daughter, who lives in San Francisco, there's a lot of these little tiny boutique bookstores. She's like, Mom, have you heard of these things called zines?
Oh,
And
yes.
I had not. They're basically little mini books that were developed when people wanted to publish their stories, all this stuff, but they not officially, right? And so I'm like, so I developed a little zine, which is a poem for little kids. And it takes you through like the shack, the cotton, my parents handing me to a stranger in hopes of a better life across the border, chasing pigs, like all speaking,
Oh, my God. Oh,
and so this little thing, get this,
oh, it opens up. I love it.
all it is
Love it.
is an 8.5 by 11,
Cool.
which means that all of us have a story, as you know. We don't have to be on fancy stages or write fancy books, nothing like that. I think it's just owning it, releasing it, could help change not only your life, but the life of others. So that's kind of a very fast version of, from this to that. Actually, from tech to talk now, right? So,
no, love it.
yeah, and tech has been an amazing career. I recommend it to anybody who's wanting to get into that field. It's not that scary. If I can be there, you can be there. And if you can sell ice, you can sell tech. So, and now I'm kind of venturing off into the nonprofit world, which again, part of the minority, only 1 or 2% of Latinas are CEOs of nonprofit. And there I go, part of the minority again.
Wow.
It's okay.
Wow.
I will figure it out.
You will figure it out. Well, Martha, thank you so much for inspiring us today. Your personality is bright and uplifting, and please continue to spread stories of hope, heart, and
Hustle.
hustle and heart. That's right. And help. Yeah, and continue to help others. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. And folks, thank you so much. Thank you for joining us today.